We have to be clear is that the UK government is saying at the moment that it has no intention to dilute to rights, and that the EU legislation will be domesticated. So that's the first thing that we need to say. However, there are, I think, particular concerns amongst feminist and human rights activists and academics about moving from a situation in which those rights are embedded and which there is redress to the European Court of Justice, and domestic legislation which can be altered. There are ways in which the government, I think, could build confidence. So, for example, we've had women's organisations and indeed statutory bodies like the Equality and Human Rights Commission who have asked the government to guarantee that it will not use delegated powers to amend or reduce such legislation. The government has refused to date to give those guarantees. It has also, this lobby has also asked, for example, that there's a constitutional right to equality going forward. Again, the government has refused to include that within the EU withdrawal bill, which is currently going through the parliaments. So I think that you're in a position where you've got, if you like, a statement that rights are safe, but nothing to underpin that at the same time as you're losing, as I say, this backdrop which the EU provides. So we're dealing with a situation of real uncertainty, but in which the vast weight of expert commentary is saying that the UK will have more austerity, will have a sort of huge economic shock. Now, what we know is that equality and human rights and protections and work around gender equality is often quite fair weather policy. So when you're in a position of economic crisis, the things that are so important for women are often seen as luxuries. So I think that there is a very real danger that what we will see are women's rights and protections traded. It's hard to give a really positive scenario given the weight of evidence about the kind of economic, social and political shock that Brexit will be, and a self-imposed one for the UK. So I think it is quite hard to be optimistic, but I think we also know that any period of restructuring and upheaval does open up windows of opportunities, and what we do have are, as I say, very creative, dedicated campaigners who will look to spot where there is a possibility to advance or at the very least protect the agenda.